What if China invaded Taiwan tomorrow? Right now, across the Taiwan Strait, the Chinese military is watching. Satellites track every movement. Naval vessels patrol in calculated patterns. Fighter jets trace invisible lines in contested airspace. This isn't preparation. This is rehearsal. And the question isn't if China will attempt to reunify Taiwan by force. It's when. But what if that when is tomorrow? What if the invasion everyone fears, but nobody expects, actually begins at dawn? The next few minutes will show you exactly how the world would change forever. Taiwan. A small island, barely larger than Maryland, sitting just 90 miles off the coast of mainland China. 23 million people live here. They manufacture 60% of the world's semiconductors and 90% of the most advanced chips that power everything from your smartphone to military drones. Taiwan is simultaneously one of the most valuable and most vulnerable territories on Earth. For decades, China has claimed Taiwan as a renegade province. Taiwan operates as an independent democracy. This contradiction has created the most dangerous flashpoint in modern geopolitics. And unlike Ukraine, unlike the Middle East, a war over Taiwan wouldn't be regional. It would be global, immediate, catastrophic. So let's run the scenario. Let's assume that tomorrow morning, Beijing gives the order. The invasion begins. It starts in silence. No declaration of war, no diplomatic warning. At 0400 hours, Taiwan's internet goes dark. Undersea cables are severed by Chinese submarines. GPS signals scramble. Power grids flicker and fail in Taipei, Kaohsiung, Taichung. This is cyber warfare at total scale. Within minutes, Taiwan's military communication networks are compromised. Radar stations report ghost images. Command centers lose contact with forward units. Then the missiles come, hundreds of them. DF-21 and DF-26 ballistic missiles launched from mobile platforms deep inside mainland China. They arc over the strait in under 6 minutes. Air defense systems fire back, but they're overwhelmed. Taiwanese airbases are hit first, runways cratered, hangars destroyed. Fighter jets that managed to scramble are now without a place to land. Naval ports in Keelung and Zoying explode in sequence. Taiwan's small but capable navy is crippled before it can leave harbor. This is the doctrine China has spent 30 years perfecting. Paralyze the enemy before they can respond. As dawn breaks, the second wave begins, the largest amphibious invasion since D-Day. Over 100,000 Chinese troops loaded onto landing craft, amphibious assault vehicles, and hovercraft. They launch from Fujian province, directly across the strait. The Taiwan Strait is only 90 miles wide, but it's a natural fortress. Strong currents, shallow beaches, limited landing zones. Taiwan's military has spent decades fortifying the western coastline, but China doesn't care about casualties. This is existential. The landing zones are pre-selected. The beaches near Tainan, the ports of Taichung, the flatlands south of Taipei. Chinese forces hit the shore under heavy fire. Taiwanese artillery and anti-ship missiles tear through the first wave. Burning wreckage litters the water. But the second wave keeps coming. And the third. And the fourth. China has the numbers. Taiwan has the terrain. The beaches turn into killing fields. Now the world is watching. And the question everyone is asking, will the United States intervene? Officially, America maintains strategic ambiguity on Taiwan. No formal defense treaty, no explicit commitment. But Taiwan is protected by the Taiwan Relations Act, which obligates the U.S. to provide defensive weapons and maintain the capacity to resist force. Capacity, not guarantee. Within hours of the invasion, the president is in the Situation Room. The options are grim. Option 1, direct military intervention. Send the 7th Fleet. Engage Chinese forces. Risk open war between two nuclear powers. Option 2, sanctions, condemnation and support, but no troops. Let Taiwan fall and hope to contain China afterward. Option 3, negotiate. Broker a ceasefire. Accept a new reality. There is no good choice, but there is a likely one. The United States cannot allow Taiwan to fall, not because of sentiment, because of semiconductors, because of credibility. Because if America abandons Taiwan, every ally from Japan to South Korea to the Philippines will question their own security. The order is given. The USS Ronald Reagan Carrier Strike Group turns toward the strait. When American jets launch from the deck of the Ronald Reagan, the war stops being about Taiwan. Japan, hosting US bases in Okinawa, is now involved. South Korea, with 28,000 American troops on its soil, is exposed. Australia, bound by the AUKUS Pact, mobilizes. The Philippines, caught between loyalty and proximity, hesitates. Meanwhile, China is not alone. Russia, watching NATO weaken in Europe, sees an opportunity. North Korea, always unpredictable, begins moving troops toward the DMZ. Iran, emboldened, escalates in the Middle East. This is the nightmare scenario. Multiple theaters, multiple adversaries, all at once. And then there's the economic collapse. Taiwan's semiconductor factories are either destroyed or occupied. Global supply chains disintegrate overnight. Car manufacturers halt production. Consumer electronics vanish from shelves. Military hardware dependent on Taiwanese chips becomes irreplaceable. The stock markets crash. Oil prices spike. Inflation spirals. Within a week, the world economy is in free fall. The fighting intensifies. Chinese forces push inland. Taiwanese resistance is fierce but unsustainable. American airstrikes hammer Chinese supply lines, but the People's Liberation Army keeps advancing. Then the unthinkable is whispered in Beijing's war rooms and Washington's bunkers alike. Tactical nuclear weapons, small yield, battlefield use, a demonstration of resolve. Both sides know that once that threshold is crossed, there is no going back. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction has kept the peace for 80 years, but doctrine assumes rational actors. It assumes clear communication. It assumes no mistakes. In the fog of war, with command systems disrupted and decision-making compressed into minutes, the risk of miscalculation is absolute. A single nuclear detonation, even a small one, would rewrite human history. The world holds its breath. Let's assume restraint prevails. No nuclear exchange. But even in a conventional war, the cost is unimaginable. Taiwan, win or lose, is devastated. Cities reduced to rubble. Millions displaced, an entire generation traumatized. If China succeeds in occupying Taiwan, it becomes the dominant power in the Pacific. The first island chain is broken. Japan and South Korea are isolated. American influence in Asia collapses. If China fails, the Communist Party faces an existential crisis. Domestic unrest, economic sanctions, international isolation. The regime's legitimacy is shattered. Either outcome reshapes the global order. And the United States, regardless of victory or defeat, is drained, financially exhausted, militarily stretched, politically divided. The era of American primacy ends not with a whimper, but with a war it couldn't avoid and couldn't win cleanly. So what if China invaded Taiwan tomorrow? The answer is simple and terrifying. Everything changes. The global economy collapses. Alliances are tested to breaking. Millions die. And the world we know, the one built on trade, technology, and tenuous peace, disappears. This isn't speculation. This is the logical conclusion of current trajectories. China is building the military capacity. Taiwan is running out of time. And the United States is caught between commitment and capability. The invasion hasn't happened yet. But every day, the conditions that make it possible grow stronger. The question isn't whether we should prepare for this scenario. The question is whether we're already too late. Because if tomorrow morning the missiles fly, the world won't get a second chance to choose differently. The future is written in the Strait, and the clock is ticking.
From this cosmic perspective.